welcome back to the Edmondson Home Music Studio. Today's lesson is on a folk instrument, bagpipes. They're predominantly found in Scotland, but they were brought to Scotland by the Romans many, many years ago. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about the bagpipes. They are a reed instrument, and inside the chanter is a double reed, much like a bassoon reed. And in a previous video, we learned about the oboe and how it is a double reed instrument as well. There are also reeds inside the drones. Oh, by the way, this is the chanter. This is where the melody comes out. And there are no keys on it, as there would be on an oboe or any of the wind instruments, flute, clarinet. So there's only 9 notes, but you can play in more than just one key because of various modes and so forth. And the scale is a mixolydian with a lowered 7th scale degree. These 3 pipes are the drones. These 2 play the same pitch. These are the tenor drones. The long one is the bass drone. There are reeds in each of the drones, and they're found right here. And I'll take this one apart so you can see it. And there are times when a reed will work loose and fall down into the bag, and that's highly frustrating. This is a drone reed. Years ago, when I started to learn how to play pipes when I was 15, the drone reeds were made out of cane. There still are cane reeds, but this is synthetic. And when I first was learning to play pipes, my bag was made out of an elk. It was elk hide bag. And now it's Gore-Tex. This is a Gore-Tex bag, just like a raincoat. It's more sanitary, too, than a hide bag. But the bag should still be replaced because there's a lot of things growing inside a bag. I have another type of bagpipe that I want to show you. I'll just set these down. This is called Shuttle Pipes. And this particular set of Shuttle Pipes was made by a man in Nova Scotia named John Walsh. And any tunes that you can play on the Great Highland Bagpipe or this set of Shuttle Pipes, the same tunes work for both, same fingering. This is in the key of A, though. And the other one, the Great Highland Pipes, if you were to play with an organ or a band, it's kind of like a funny B flat. That was just a little bit of a waltz called Longueval. The tune I played on the big Highland bagpipes was Scotland the Brave, and that's the tune that's most familiar to people, and you usually hear it in the 4th of July parade. Now, to learn a tune, you would first learn it on the practice chanter, because it takes less air, and your neighbors won't hear you. And to play the pipes, if you recall, I filled up the bag with air, so there's no way to tongue a note or make dynamics. But actually, there is a way to simulate separating the notes and to bring out the musicality of the music. And that is to separate the notes with grace notes or doublings. That's the G grace note. That's simple. That's a torla. Slow down. Throw on D. There's all sorts of D doublings and doublings on other notes too. And girl. Sometimes I have trouble reaching the burl because my pinky's kind of short. So here's Scotland the Brave slowed down, and you will see the doublings. Sped up. Okay, and the chanter has a reed on the inside, and it's giving me a bit of a bother. You know how on clarinet or saxophone, or you can adjust your mouth a little bit to compensate if the reed's giving you trouble. Can't on chanter or bagpipes because the reeds are on the inside. Here's what this chanter reed looks like, and this is an old reed. I probably need to replace it. So you might want to go back and watch this video again, and now that you've learned about the doublings and some of the different movements and grace notes, listen to Scotland the Brave again played on the Great Highland Pipes and actively listen for those grace notes and how the notes are separated. Oh, how did I learn? Good question. I'm glad you asked. Years ago, when I was about 14, I guess, I had this terrible urge to play bagpipes. I grew up in a town in Pennsylvania, Ligonier, and there are Highland Games every year in Ligonier. They're very well known. You could do a Google search for them. And also, I have a Scottish ancestry. My ancestors came from Scotland and Ireland, and we're in the MacDougall clan. My mother's maiden name is McDowell, which is in the MacDougall clan. And on my grandfather's side, his name is Johnston, which is also a Scottish name. So, my wonderful parents humored me, and they said, save up your allowance, and then you can get bagpipes. So I did. And when I was 15, I said, okay, I'm ready. So we went up to St. Catharines, Ontario, and I purchased my pipes from John Kirkwood. He had a shop there, and he was well known for making drumsticks, as well as selling bagpipes. And let me pick up my pipes again so you can see them. And this is the same set that I've had all these years, and I've loved them. And Peter Mackenzie was a worker there, and he tied my pipes in. I picked out this set. They were all in pieces. All these joints come apart. They were in a cardboard box. And he tied on an elk bag for me. And, oh, I'm sorry, I have a macaw. Thank you, Piper. And so then I thought, okay, now I got my bagpipes, how am I going to learn? So I tried to teach myself, which it was going okay. But bagpipes, you really need to learn from another piper, all the doublings and everything. I'm sorry, because I didn't want to get in bad habits. So, Piper, stop. I'm not going to restart this video. We're going to work through this. We're going to persevere. So I wrote to Seamus McNeill, and he actually wrote back. Seamus McNeill was from Scotland, and I knew he would come over to this country to do piping schools in the summer, kind of like camps. So he wrote back and he said the closest one would be in Brockville, Ontario. It was called the International School of Scottish Performing Arts. So I signed up for piping, and my sister signed up for Highland dancing, and we went for 8 summers, and that's how I learned. The instructors came over from Scotland. Jimmy McIntosh, Ian McFadgen, Angus McClellan. They were all top-notch instructors, and my sister took Highland dance lessons from James L. Mackenzie. And she and I would perform together then. We were a sister act, and it was absolutely fantastic. Great. Then years later, I moved to Maine with my husband and 2 children, and I started the West Eden Highlanders, and that group was together for a good many years, and I taught my son and my daughter how piping. They began on piping, and then my son became the bass drummer in the West Eden Highlanders, and my daughter was a flourishing tenor drummer, and she also Highland danced, so I piped for her. Great family fun. Make music together, enjoy your music, and until next time, thank you.